Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you may be. This is by Hook or by Needles, and I am Sam. And today I thought it might be fun if we as knitters created a shawl pattern using the stitches that we have already learnt. And not all of the stitches that we've already learnt, just a few of them. Hello, Joey. Thank you for joining me, Joey. Yes, wibble wobble table, yes. Okay, you're going to jump down? Okay, goodbye. Okay, it's not showing. No, it's better just to hold it like that, I think. So you can see that it's lacy. It's almost like large honeycomb, small honeycomb, large honeycomb. I want to say I designed this myself. I didn't design the actual repeat stitch. Obviously, that was just already out there. That's just a yarn over, knit two together. But I did have to create a way to do this so that you could increase the stitches to get a shawl out of it. So, yeah. Anyway, this is the format we are going to be, let me just move, oops, out, Sam, not in, out a bit. So you can see the whole pattern. There's just 4-row repeat. Okay, so we cast on 6 stitches. The first row is the only row which we increase in, and we purl 1. We do a yarn round the needle as opposed to a yarn over. I'll explain that as we get there. We purl to the last stitch, do a yarn round needle again, and purl 1. The second and fourth rows are the same, and that is knit 2, and then we repeat these 2 instructions to the last 2 stitches. Now this is a yarn over, knit 2 together. And we'll repeat that to the last 2 stitches, and then we just knit the last 2 stitches. Row 3, we purl all the stitches, once again no increases, and row 4 we just repeat row 2. So you just repeat these 4 rows till it's your desired size. It is very easy. I know it possibly looks a bit complex, but it is very easy. So this is knitted in a 4-ply, which is like a 2-weight or a fingering yarn. It's a sock yarn, and this is just to show you how the pattern's actually going to look. I'm not going to do the tutorial in a sock yarn because you just want it to be a little bit sort of larger so you can see better, hopefully, what's going on. So I'm making it in a 8-ply, which is a DK, which is a 3-weight. Now, in order to get some drapiness, you might want to go up by half a size or a full size in needles, just so you get a little bit of drapiness. So although this is an 8-ply, a DK weight, or a 3-weight, whichever you want to use, and you would normally use a 4mm hook, a 4mm needle, which might be a G, you would go up to 4.5mm. And no, I don't know. I don't know what that is in US terms. So I've got my 8-ply yarn. I've got my 4.5 needles, and I'm just going to cast on using the long tail cast on, which you will find in one of the playlist. I think it's the first video, which is called 3 cast-ons for beginners. We're just going to cast on 6. Okay, So if at any point you have any issues, just go check the description. I will put in the description the cast-ons. I will put the increases and decreases, because there are knit two togethers and I think yarn overs. But I'll also put a video in there called yarn overs, because that is it's called all about the yarn overs, because that will explain better why we have yarn round needle and yarn over. And I'll just put this up again so that you can take a screenshot if you need to. But you will see we've got yarn round needle, YRN, and yarn over needle, which is yo. Yeah. Once I think I'm a firm believer that you teach people to fish, you don't give them fish. So the yarn, it's all about the yarn over, actually explains why you do it the specific way you do it. And it's all to do with the next stitch. If the next stitch is a purl, it's a yarn round needle. If the next stitch is knit, it's a yarn over. So pause and take a photo or do whatever you need to do. That is the pattern. Okay, so let's get started. The first row is going to be purl. We are going to purl the first stitch. Then we are going to do yarn. Oh, I think I should, oops, always go the wrong way. Oh, that's too close. Okay, and then we're going to go yarn around needle, which is exactly as it sounds. This yarn is going to go all the way around the needle so that the yarn is back at the front. And that's added a stitch. And then we purl till there's one stitch left. And once again, yarn around the needle, and we purl the last stitch. Okay, then we turn our work, and we do our second row, which is knit the first two stitches. So we knit one, knit two. Now we're going to do what's called a yarn over, and that's bringing the yarn forward. And then what happens is, because the next stitch is a knit, when we complete the next stitch, it causes a yarn over, which is an increase. But because we're decreasing, we're status quo. We're not actually losing or gaining any stitches. So I'm going to knit the next two stitches together, and you see when I complete that, because I've got the yarn forward, and we complete that knit two together, we've got not an extra stitch, we have added a stitch, but because we've done two yarn knit two together, we end up with the same stitch count. So we're not actually increasing or decreasing on any row except for the first. Then the instructions tell us to yarn over again, so we bring our yarn forward so that it can go over the needle when we do our knit two together. So again, we just knit two together. The knit two together decrease should be in a video called Simple Increases and Decreases or something like that. And then we just knit the last two, because the instructions tell us to yarn over, knit two together to the last two stitches. Last two stitches, and then we knit those two separately, not together, separately. Okay, we turn our work. Next one is purl all stitches. So we just purl every stitch all the way across. Oh, it's warm here again today. And I've turned the fan off, which I normally have on, because it was blowing my paper around. I need a paperweight to hold stuff into place so I can have my fan on. And okay, and then we turn our work again. Now, it tells us here we've got to repeat row 2, which is knit 2, yarn over, knit 2 together to the last 2 stitches. So, once again, we just knit 2, bring our yarn forward, so that when we knit the next stitch, we are adding a stitch. Because the next stitch is decreasing, we end up with the same number of stitches. So we're going to knit those 2 together, and we end up with the same number of stitches. Yarn forward again, and then we knit the next 2. We're at the last 2 stitches, and we just knit those 2. You've now completed the first 4 stitches, and you can see that the yarn overs produce the gaps, and the knit 2 together sort of create this line, you know, like a diagonal almost. So let's do that again. We're going to go back to the first row. We're going to purl 1, yarn around needle, purl to last stitch, then yarn around the needle and purl 1. So purl 1, yarn all the way around the needle, purl the next stitch, and that you can see we've actually added a stitch, which is what we want to do. Row 1 is the only row in where we actually increase stitches, and then we knit, we purl till we get to the last stitch. We've got 1 stitch left. Then once again we go yarn around the needle and we purl. Okay, then we're back at row 2. We knit the first 2, we yarn over and knit 2 together till the last 2 stitches. And you will notice as you go that each time you do a new row 2, there will be 1 extra of these repeats that you do. So in the first instance, we did it twice before we had 2 stitches left. This time we're going to do it 3 times. And you will just notice that that just increases as you go, but you don't need to count them because all you have to worry about is knitting until the last 2 stitches. So you start off with knitting 2. We bring our yarn forward, we knit 2 together. So that adds 1 and decreases 1 at the same time, so our stitch count stays the same. Yarn forward, or yarn around needle, or sorry, yarn over needle, because it's going over as we knit the 2 together. That's 2. Bring our yarn forward for our yarn over, and then we knit 2 together. And then we've got 2 stitches left, which is exactly what we want. And we just knit those 2 together. Turn our work, purl all stitches. Okay, purl stitches. Now we're going to repeat row 2 again, and this is our 8th row. So we knit 2, bring our yarn forward for our yarn over, we knit the next 2 stitches together, yarn forward, knit the next 2 stitches together, yarn forward, and we knit the next 2 stitches together. We've got 2 stitches left, and we just knit those 2. You can sort of see how this little side has got a thicker piece down here with a little loopy bit coming off, like an edging. Okay, so that's 2 repeats. I'll do one more very quickly. So back at the beginning, purl 1, yarn around the needle, purl to the last stitch, yarn around needle, and then purl the last one. Next one, knit 2, yarn over, knit 2 together till we get to 2 stitches, and we knit those last 2. And here we go, knit 2 together, bring the yarn forward for our yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together. And as you will notice, that is 1 extra yarn over, knit 2 together than the previous repeat. Then we just knit the last 2. 3rd row is purling all the stitches. No increases, no decreases, just purling all the way across. Now this really, I think this fabric is very, I mean, I love the yarn over, knit 2 together. I think it just produces such a pretty lace work, and it's very easy to produce. It's not like some of the more difficult pieces of lace. So it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it for my beginners who are learning to knit with me. And also, you know, the only difficult part was working out how to increase it so you could get a triangle shape. But I worked that out for you, and yeah. So now we are on our last row again of the repeat, which is repeating row 2. We're going to knit 2. We're going to bring our yarn forward, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together, yarn forward, knit 2 together. Got 2 stitches left. Let's just knit those 2 separately, like that. Okay, there we go. You can see the sort of little honeycombs starting to form. You can see this thickened edge forming with like a little loop at the end. So yeah, depending on how you wear it, you might want to wear it with this edge against your neck, or this edge against your neck, but it will just keep growing until you decide to stop. And it's just 4 rows, repeat, and 2 of those rows are the same as each other, sort of thing. So, you know, basically it's just 2 different rows, or 3 different rows. It's your increase row, your lace row for the yarn overs, purl all, and then repeating the second row again. I do hope you have found that easy to follow. Please remember, I am here to help anybody and everybody who genuinely needs help. And I say that because, you know, you never know. There might be someone out there trying to, I don't know, troll. But anyway, you know, I'm thinking of Panda, actually. He might try and troll me. No, only joking. I love me Panda. Anyway, so easy lace. I think very drapey lace, very pretty lace. Yeah. Leave a comment below if you found if you do think it's easy to follow. Leave a comment below if you want more guidance or assistance with how to do something. But I will leave, as I said it previously, in the description box. Excuse me, hang on. Dear, I had hoped to get through the whole video without needing to have a coughing fit, but there we go. I will leave in the description box a link to how to cast on, how to do your yarn overs and your yarn round needles, how to do your knit 2-togethers, and how to do your purls and your knit stitches as well. So I'm going to leave all of those links to all of those videos below, but you can equally, you know, you can go just straight to the playlist for knitting for beginners and you will see them all there. I think it almost will be, apart from the yarn over one, I think that they'll pretty much go boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. But I will leave the links anyway for you so you can find them easily. There we go. Have fun with that. And, you know, if you want to share your work with me, go to my About page. You will see there's a link to a Facebook group. I don't often visit there, but I will add you if you pop on and want to be added, so you can add your pictures to show. If you're not a Facebook person, and I totally get it, because like I say, I only got Facebook for, you know, the channel. I almost never go there anymore myself. If you don't have Facebook and you don't want to join Facebook, but you want to show us your work, just email me instead. You'll find a link to my email also in the About section. You need to, there's a little bit that says view email. You need to click on that. Then you have to tick a box to say you're not a robot. And then it will actually show you the email. And then you can email me the picture of your work. And I can pop that up on the Facebook page if that's what you want me to do with the work, with the picture. Okay, till next time, have fun with that, people. Remember, I'm here to help, and I will see you later. Bye.